Right, let me just check this sound. Come on. Come on. Okay, sound good. All right. All right. Shalom, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. All right, I want to get into a brief topic, concerning the Passover meal and the spiritual aspects of it. Of course, brothers in the know this information, but I wanted to present this to brothers out there that may not be a part of, a camp just yet, and are still learning, what the Passover entails, and, just learning about what this truth entails in general. And, just want to give them a portion of what the Passover is about concerning the meal and the spiritual aspects about this. And as well as, brothers that are newly to a camp, and this may be their first Passover, to give them some information, as well concerning this. So, through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, I hope brothers learn something. I hope brothers are edified, So, just in general, everything of the Passover represents Yahweh Shah, and the deeds which took place over there in Egypt, and the Lord passing over, our houses and killing, the firstborn of all the men, women, and children of Egypt, and concerning all their cattle and their animals as well, and passing over Israel that had the blood upon the doorposts. Well, now within this current times, for us to escape, out of Babylon and to be received within those chariots, we had to be sealed with sealed with the seal of salvation, which is the blood of Yahweh Shah upon us, man. So it's the same thing that's going to take place over here in modern day Egypt, which is America, aka Babylon the Great, that happened back there into old Egypt. Okay. And just getting directly, as I said, everything about the Passover itself is about Yahweh Shah. And when you look at the Passover meal itself, you typically will have, like your unleavened bread. You may have your your romaine lettuce, and your horseradish, and of course the lamb, which represents Yahweh Shah, as him being that sacrificial lamb. Him dying on the cross, bearing the whole nation's sins upon his back. So, but getting into it, all right. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 1. And our brethren could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Yahweh Shah. So, coming into this truth, of course, we're babes, okay? So the Lord is feeding us, with that milk in order for us to be able to get to higher levels, within this truth at a higher level of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, for the Lord to be able to sup with us even more as we grow within this thing, man, And, applying it back into the Passover meal, you could take the bread, which is Yahweh Shah, right? Going into John chapter 6, and I'll start at verse 32. Then Yahweh Shah said unto them, or start at verse 31. Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Okay. Then Yahweh Shah said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. Okay. For the bread of Yahweh is he, which represents Yahweh Shah, okay, which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. And what's that world that he gives life unto? The nation of Israel. First and foremost, the elect, and in its entirety, the whole nation, because, the rest of the nation of Israel will be saved through the elect within the kingdom. But on this side, they have to be baptized with that fire, man, to meet the second death, for them to be cleansed and get right with, and then be right within the kingdom, for their spirit to be cleansed. Right. So it says verse 34. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. Okay. So they was what? Thirsting for the bread. Right. And Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. Okay, so what? Yahushua is that bread. And as I said, the Passover meal, you have your bread, you may have your romaine lettuce, your horseradish, and your meat. So taking the unleavened bread into consideration, and you eating that unleavened bread as you tasting as a babe, as you tasting of that heavenly gift, which is this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the volume of the whole book, Yahushua himself. So we tasting that heavenly gift coming into this knowledge as being babes, man. So what happens after you taste it? You know what I'm saying? You feeling it around in your mouth and all that. You're like, yeah, this tastes good. That's the sweetness coming into this truth, learning it, and you so excited, so on and so forth. Okay. But then afterwards, what comes the bitter part of this truth? Okay. And real quick, this is it's real basic scriptures, you know. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter, is it 2 or 3? Yeah, Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 3. Ezekiel 3 and 1. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. So as I said, you know, getting back into the point of when you first coming into this truth, you know, and everything, what you tasting of that heavenly gift is sweet. You learning, the knowledge seems great, but then what? You got to expect the adversity, and that comes, then comes the bitterness with this truth, you know, and that's what you have. Why we have what? The bitter herbs, and you know, the bitter herbs, you know, represented the bitter bondage that we served over there in Egypt, and which we're serving here now in modern Egypt. Okay, go sit down, man. I'll be there in a minute. Go sit down. So that serves as, you know, the bitterness what we served in old Egypt and in modern Egypt, which is America, aka Babylon the Great. All right. So real quick, this is Slakia. Yeah, this is the book of Revelations 10 and 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. Okay, so what? As soon as what he ate it, you know, it was sweet in his mouth. That's the beginning. But then going through the digestive process, it became bitter, which came to a later on point, because it takes time for your body to break down the food to be able to digest it. So as that was going on, time went by, so it started to get bitter. And your belly being bitter also can represent your mind at the same time, because, you know, Satan is constantly getting on your nerves, you know, plaguing your life in different ways, shapes, form, and fashions. And then you truly understand the gravity of this truth when you're going through the bitterness of this hell, you know. But when you look at it, we've been going through hell all our lives, even before this truth. So coming into this truth, you know, it shouldn't be no great thing to know and to accept that you have to suffer for this truth. Because now, you know, you're no longer suffering for wickedness, but you're suffering for righteousness' sake in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, so when you look at those bitter herbs, right, you have the romaine lettuce, and then you have the horseradish. Bitter herbs prepare your digestive system to be able to take on more heavier foods. That's what you have those bitter herbs there for. So taking it back, you have the bread, which is Yahushua. Okay, have the bread, which is Yahweh Shah. You tasting of that heavenly gift. Then after a while, now it gets bitter in your belly, within your mind. And that's what the bitter herbs is there to help your, prepare your mind to digest the meat that's to come on later on, man. Because ultimately, when you look at a horseradish, and horseradish is a real bitter herb, but horseradish is good for digestion, as I said. And the horseradish, it opens up, like when you eat it, you're gonna notice that funky kick to your nose, and you know what I'm saying, your eyes might start to water up or whatever the case may be, and your bronchial tubes in your chest open up, man. So what? That it helps for the respiratory system. Okay, it helps you be able to breathe. Now, how do we breathe? We breathe through the spirit of Yahweh himself. Okay, so because it's Yahweh that puts the breath in us. So this is all spiritual, man. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 24. For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of Yahweh and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. So as I said, as you're eating, that horseradish representing, the bitterness of our bondage and, the bitterness of your mind going into Revelations 10 and 9, it's preparing your body and all of that to be able to receive the truth of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. Okay, opening up your bronchial tubes so that on the spiritual aspect, you can receive the word, man, more readily available to you as you grow within this truth. And now what you get to the point where you can actually deal with the meat of the scriptures, man. It's all spiritual. Now, after you dealing with the bitterness, now the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah start to reveal more things unto you, start to bring a more knowledge to you, open up your understanding more, and deal with you on a more knowledgeable tip for you being tested and tried through wisdom to be able to accept the meat, man. So that's what this thing is all about, So to bring it back, you have the bread, you have the romaine lettuce, you may have the horseradish, and you have the meat. The bread is you tasting of that heavenly gift when you come into this truth, and everything is all sweet, so on and so forth. But as that time goes on, now it starts to get bitter. And that's that horseradish right there. And preparing your digestive juices, to be able to accept more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But in order for that to happen, the horseradish, opens up, your bronchial tubes, so that more breath can enter into you, which is the spirit of Yahweh himself can enter more into you and flow through you, so you can actually accept Yahweh Shah and the meat of the scriptures that come with this truth, man. So everything of this truth is spiritual, man. The meal and everything, man. So when you're in this truth, as I always like to say, you got to see all things through the spirit. You can't overlook one thing within this truth, man, because the one thing that you overlook, it may can cost you, So, and we know with these times in which we in, we got to understand how important, this Passover is, the meal is, the seriousness and the gravity of the solemn assembly that we are to keep year by year, in honor of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, So with that, I hope this quick segment was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the elect out there doing this work of faith and labor, love, true sincerity. Shalom.